so you moved into the Brady Bunch. So what's going on here? Living in a fraternity. I mean, rent.
No, we're not.
$8. How many bedrooms is it?
It has. There's.
Oh, yeah. Think about it.
3 upstairs, 1 upstairs.
How many?
And then I have the master.
I'm sorry. One more time. How many rooms is it?
So there's 3 rooms upstairs, 1 in the basement, and then I have 1 master in the second floor.
Make us do math.
3 rooms in the basement and then 1 master. How did you end up getting the master? What did you pull to pull that off?
Said he moved in with his girlfriend.
I pulled the whole, like, I've got more money. I'm paying like $100 more for rent, but I mean, that's okay.
Yeah, when I first moved to LA, my roommate paid $100 more than both of us, and he had a bathroom in the room. And now that I think back on it, he got a steal.
$100 for your bathroom is definitely
Yeah, but when you're like 22, you're like, oh, yeah, sure, perfect. Idiot.
What is the dynamic like with everybody else in the house?
I mean, we were all friends. It was like this weird, like, I was friends with this person's friends with these groups of people, and then, you know, kind of like all meet. And then I think we've all been collectively been friends for like about 5 years, I believe, maybe less.
Nice. Yeah. Is it a lot of dirty dishes with that many people?
Oh, fuck no. We and one of my roommates, past roommate, we used to be very stingy about dishes, and I'm going to apply to this house, because dishes are like the #1 problem when it comes to fucking roommates.
Tyler, I want to bring this up. It says here that you called in because you have failed at your dream to, as you say, become an influencer. Oof.
I mean, yeah, I feel like I feel, you know.
Well, tell us this. When you say you want to become an influencer, what exactly does that mean?
We're talking Addison Rae, we talking Jake Paul, where are we at?
Oh, hell no. I mean, like, it's kind of like, you know, I delve my toes into, like, the commentary community. Like, I like General Sam, Nick Jakey, like, all those people where they just have, like, a topic and they do, like, funny edits with a green screen and all that shit.
What kinds of things do you want to do commentary on?
You know, like, just like stupid shit, you know, like I've done it before and it worked. Like I did have a following on like TikTok that had like 30,000, but it's just like each video kept on going just like less and less views. I wasn't sure if it was my fault or it's like, I don't know, TikTok is like cracking the whip on me or something, but I don't know. It's also just like, I don't know, like, it's hard to having a job you work 6 days a week and work 60 plus hours and trying to do like highly edited videos, you know, and it's kind of hard, you know. And
having, my God, but you gotta do it. That's how I did. You know, I used to work.
What's that?
I used to work 50 hours a week at a production company, and I'd go home and I'd make videos on the weekend. You really have to alienate yourself. It's fucked up. Like, I literally, like, lost friends. Not RIP, but, like, you know, just, like, I would spend Saturday shooting, Sunday editing, posting on Monday. And there is time. But it's hard to be distracted because you live with fucking 6 other people. Mm-hmm. There is time, but also I'll say this, bro, you're 23. Not to sound like Gary Vee out here, but you're young as fuck, man. You got time. I think look, dude, TikTok fucks with me too all the time. I was just telling him earlier, I was like, dude, why are my views down, this and that, blah, blah, blah. It's hard to get discouraged when your views are down because you're letting your views validate if your content is good. And that's not the case. It's just the algorithm being hard to get. Think about the algorithm as like a bar. You're like, man, fuck this bar. I'm going somewhere else. You know? Try commentary with a different style, different format. Do a short one, do a long one. Don't let the views get you down because views fuck with me, dude. You know. Also, commentary stuff is
every time I looked at it. I mean, every time I looked at the views, I just got bored and depressed and shit. And I mean, it's a total gamble sometimes too, because like, you know, if I try to do the whole like influencer thing and go that hard, you know, I miss chances of seeing friends or family, and I feel depressed about that. But you know, if I focus on family, friends, and work, you know, I get to
Let me ask you this.
achieve something.
Let me ask you this. Is your mom or dad verified on TikTok?
Oh, no.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can't be hanging out with them, man. They're just chasing the clout. You know, you got to just be like, Mom, Dad, I'm really out here. I'm in the hype house now.
Yeah, you got to really kind of embody the spirit of the influencer before
You got to wear a Michelle necklace. You got to shorts, thigh tattoos, Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask what is it about the career, the idea of being this influencer, of being a commentator that is attractive to you? What are your like underlying intentions here?
I think the main thing is just like seeing everyone's reaction and seeing like laughing or, you know, I think it's like an awesome video. I wouldn't say as much of an attention thing, but like more or less just like, I don't know, I like seeing people's reaction on something I created, you know, like the top of my head, you know, something like that, you know. I really love that shit. I mean, like I'm not talking about I want to be like mega famous, but like at least having like a following seems really cool, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good answer. Because I think anybody who answers that question, they go, I just want the money, then, you know, it's probably not the career for you. But I like your answer where you're like, I like seeing the enjoyment it brings to other people. So I do think you still have the right mindset for it. But, yeah, I mean, there's so many outlets you can kind of like, quote, go viral on. So I would try different versions, you know, instead of maybe shooting this whole thing you got to edit, you spend like 4 days working on it for YouTube. It's like, people do get successful using like the TikTok green screen app. Like that feature doesn't look as good, but it is much quicker. So if you're, you know, worried about seeing family and friends and all that stuff, there is mediums where you're like, okay, maybe I won't shoot a whole 10-minute video, but I can do the same commentary real quick on my lunch break or something.
Yeah, and then what you said, man, like finding a medium that really works for you, and that is like not, you know, because if it's going to take you an entire, you know, a whole month or a whole several weeks to edit a video, then you're not going to be able to have as many like at-bats at the internet.
Yeah, and you can still do those long ones, but it's like, the way I think about it is when you make these short, quick videos for TikTok or something, those are kind of the bait to attract people to your page where they see the main stuff.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I saw 30 seconds of him here. Oh, shit, he does this in 12 minutes, and it's really well produced.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think you don't have to stick to one, but try both.
Yeah, I'll almost definitely do that. I feel like I delved in that a few times, but I would definitely keep trying. I've been taking a long break and really been thinking about it. I've been thinking about actually just branching off to YouTube as well, trying to do it multiple platforms to see what sticks. So,
well, also what's nice is, you know, at the end of the day, you will still have a guaranteed 7 views. Because you got 6 people you live with and your girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Could even be 8
What's your thing? I'll let you plug. I'll plug?
Oh, plug it.
Plug us.
Where you said 30K on TikTok. Where's it at?
Yeah, sure. It's period spoken.
Tyler has spoken. I like that.
That's pretty like.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's confident.
That's pretty good. Tyler has spoken.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Yeah, I was trying to go for like a Tyler the Creator kind of vibe to it. You know, that's how I got the inspiration from it a little bit.
Well, I'm excited to hear. What if he's just like an alt-right commentator guy, and we just plug him?
I'm excited to hear you speak. You have spoken. You got to keep speaking. Tyler will be speaking. I've been.
Tyler, is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Yeah, I mean, follow your dreams. Don't fuck up. You know, keep chugging along. If you even did fuck up and all.
Well, Tyler has spoken.
Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler has spoken. Turn up.
Thank you, guys. I love you all.
That was nice.
Yeah. You know, I think he threw me off in the beginning when he said he's like, oh, I want to be an influencer. I think the word influencer just kind of has this like grimy taste to it.
Yeah, yeah.
So when he was like, I still like people like watching, I like the reaction.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, there's some good here.
Yeah, he wasn't like, I want to go take pictures at the beach. And
Exactly. I think if he phrased it, he's like, I wish my commentary on YouTube would be better. Then that's a easier thing to digest.
Right.
But if you just praying to Jesus every night, you're like, I want to be an influencer. Tough.
So you were grinding hard, 50 hours a week. Okay, so the things that he was describing, like shutting yourself out, not having enough time for friends and family.
Dude,
were you experiencing all that?
100%. I didn't hang out with the only people I hung out with were video people, right? I would go to work, and I worked in downtown Los Angeles for this production company, All Def Digital. They had a big YouTube following, so I was uploading all their shit in the day. And at night I'd do open mics, and then on the weekend I'd make videos. And then I'm just I was like, I'm gonna hold myself. Every Monday I'm gonna put out a new video. And after 2 years, 2017, I had my first video hit. And then for me, I feel like it was just each video that I put out was more wood for the fire. Let's keep the fire going.
Right.
Put more logs on the fire. Because then I had a Vine get big back in the day, and I didn't do anything. I got nervous, and I didn't know what to post. And then I just posted again 3 weeks later, and it had no momentum. And I was like, damn, because I didn't let the fire go.
Yep.
So now when I caught it again in 2017, I was like, let's keep. This is what I messed up on last time. Let's keep it going. So, yeah, not to say that I don't know. I don't know why things happen, why things work out, but it ended up doing it, and I was just then I worked that job for another 2 years, and then I was just like, I think I can do this on my own now.
Do you feel like as you have progressed in your career, the hunger has died down, or are you? Because I asked you if you had any vices, and you said that work is one of them. Do you feel just as hungry now as you were back then?
I don't think the hunger's died down, but I think my perception is a little skewed now. Because now, if a video doesn't hit 1 million views on TikTok, I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Which I'm what the
it's wrong, dude. Well, okay, it was the first thing that we were talking about right when you came in here is before we started streaming was you were talking about my TikTok views are good for, and every single person who makes content for the internet has that thing where they're at the video and they're like, fuck. Okay. But there's a weird, there's a weird hedonic treadmill thing where you've had videos that get 20 billion whatever views, and then you adapt to that.
For no reason.
And then you kind of adapt to that, and then you're like, okay, if a video doesn't get at minimum 1 million views, you're like, what the fuck? But then when does it end?
It's like money, it never does.
Right.
But I need to remind myself, and I probably wouldn't have thought about it unless I did this show, is the day I got my first 1 million views on Facebook, and I was so happy. Mm-hmm. I went up to this other guy that I worked with at the time who also made videos, and he was very successful. He had a lot of videos, do very well. Shout out to this guy, Kevin on Stage. He had a bunch of videos do millions. I was like, dude, I got my first 1 million, now what? And he's like, keep going. But I was so excited to tell him that feeling, I remember, first time I ever got high and that feeling are probably pretty comparable. Mm-hmm. First time the weed ever hit. Mm-hmm. And, now it's I'm yelling about TikTok not fucking working, but I'm like, damn, you remember how excited you were for that first one?
Yeah.
So it is it's, I don't know, but it's just a nice to look back on perspective of that.
It's easy to lose that because I also, you remember back when you had a baseline that your videos would do.
Yeah.
And then your baseline keeps going up, and then when you don't hit your baseline, you have to be like, well, remember when this is
I know.
The baseline I have now is so much higher than it was before, and then you have to kind of put into perspective
So I think my hunger levels haven't tampered off or anything. I think I'm more just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I'm still just as ambitious as I was then, but I think now I'm just
there's better relationships.
Spoiled, or not about relationship. I think I'm just more salty towards my own views. Maybe I don't know.
It's hard. I'm trying to be better at accepting things I can't control. And there's a weird thing with social media views where it's you kind of can control it because you can control the quality. You can control how hard you work.
Best practices.
You can control how hard you work, and you can do your best practices. But then you have to, after you've done that, just accept that how it's received is outside
It's like
of your
throwing a
control.
football, which I'm not good at, but you throw a football in the air, it's like if they catch it, they catch it. If they don't, you're like, I did my job. I threw the
Exactly.
ball. Who's going to catch it?
Exactly.
Is the algorithm going to fuck with it, or are they going to spike that shit down and try again tomorrow?
Exactly. Yeah, you have to be content with, before you post the video, when you look at it, you're like, all right, I did my job.
Yeah. It's so
I
funny.
fucking did the best I can, and it's in fucking God's or China's hands at this point.
I can convince myself to believe anything. If I don't try on a video and I post it and it does like stupid numbers, I'm like, yeah, you know, just because I'm talented. But if I work my ass off in a video and it bombs, and I'm like, well, the algorithm, they just didn't get, like, I can always
Right.
find something to blame. But in reality, it's like there's no rhyme or reason why some videos do stupid numbers. It's like gambling. You never, if you knew how every video was gonna do, I think that would mess with you too. Like, if you knew that having me on this interview would do like less views on YouTube than anyone else, you'd be like, I'm not very excited for it. But if you're like, oh shit, this is gonna do astronomical numbers, then you'd be like overly excited. Then you'd be thinking about it. So it's like, it's good to not know how it's gonna do, because then you don't create based on the views.
Yeah, and the more that you like track your mind to and your happiness and your levels of saltiness.
Yeah, I gotta disconnect the two.
Yeah, the more you attach your saltiness levels and your happiness levels to the views, you just get fucked. You just fuck yourself.
That's something I'd love to work on, is not letting views alter how I feel about my own self.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard because you see the little downward thing,
Yeah,
and
bro.
you're like, well, fucking shit.
That's what I'm saying, you know? Or you have like a video pop off and you're walking into a Cold Stone like, give me free Reese's Pieces.
You know what's funny? It's funny that we're talking about this, and when we first started, you're just being like, because we're in this weird thing where we have the internet and we're getting obsessed with views and that. But you said at the very beginning of this, you're just grateful for fucking trees, man.
Trees.
At the end of the
Trees don't have
day,
views. They got leaves.
trees have a lot of views. There's a lot of people out there looking at trees.
have
Trees are probably the most viral thing.
Yeah, they got views, but they don't count them. And that's when you kind of gotta look at it. Because one view on YouTube could be 100 people just watching.
Trees don't have views. Or trees do get views, but they don't count their views, and that's why they're so fucking chill.
That's a metaphor right there. Count your blessings, not your views. Put it on a Forever 21 t-shirt. See what's going on in here. What else we got?
Hello?
Yes.
Is this Aubrey?
This is.
Aubrey, how's it going? I'm here
How are
with
you,
Trevor. We're hanging out. We're being geckos. I just farted. I hope you can't smell it.
Dude, I've been trying to own rip. I don't know if that's...
You can lie. I don't give a fuck.
Really?
Yeah.
I ate something weird. Might be airy.
I don't give a fuck.
I can't do it. Okay.
Really, even though I've given you permission, you still...
But I have to have permission from the chat to do it, too. I can't. I'd have to get up.
Aubrey, does Trevor have permission to fart?
100%. That is a Midwestern.
Do your thing, man. Do it into the mic. I don't give a shit.
I can't do it. The pressure's on.
What's going on with you, Aubrey? Is it Aubrey?
Oh, it's you?
Actually, did you?
I never heard that. That's on chat forever. God damn it.
Dude, I'm surprised you haven't heard my I've been farting.
Really?
Yeah,
I would go 2 minutes in, and I was like, damn, what if he heard me? Dude,
I've had like a non-stop diarrhea for like a week.
Really?
There's
You should
something.
call into your own podcast. I Chick-fil-A in it.
I think you need to get up.
With it today.
Get help for that.
Audrey, what's going on with you? How's life? Tell me everything. Tell me nothing.
Ooh, life is kind of crazy right now. Not in a physical sense, but so I, in the recent past year, have discovered sort of that I think I might be asexual, and then for anybody who doesn't know what that is, in a roundabout way, it's just not desiring sexual activity, not really needing. Yes, exactly, yeah. So, and I mean, obviously, I've been sexually active before in my lifetime, but I've never been one to like need it. I've been realizing that people need it a lot.
Now, it
And
also
I
says
don't
here
know if
that you have a boyfriend and that you're having problems
Yeah.
with opening up to him about this. Is that correct?
that's 100%. Yeah. So he actually lives out of state right now, and he is moving here next month.
Okay. When you see him, do you feel anything sexually, or you're just like, oh, I'm just glad to see him, but there's no like sexual tension?
Yeah, no, there's no like I want to jump your bones moment. It's just
And it's not him
it
personally.
sounds
It's
really
just
horrible, but no,
it's just you and Jim.
no, it sounds horrible, but yeah, it's just me, and I don't know how to say that to him without not offending. Well, I guess maybe I just
It's hard to not take
I'm
it
not
personally.
sure. Yeah,
I think you can come at it from an angle of like, it's not you, it's just what I'm thinking. Because he's probably gonna take it personal pretty quick. But if you can spin it and be like, this is just how I'm feeling in life right now, and you'd be like, oh, all right. And then there might be a Wednesday where you look at him and you're like, bring that thing over here. And that thing I'm referring to is genitals.
But let's get it started.
Is he decent
Yeah,
at that when you guys do the dirty?
Yeah, it's nothing off-putting. There's nothing on-putting.
Ooh.
And, I don't have any, like, I don't know the reverse of the ick. I'm not sure how to put it.
Okay, so you're not necessarily like disgusted or icked out by sexual activity. It just does not particularly excite you.
Yeah, and I would say, go ahead.
Do you think that, like, sometimes when I eat too much, like, Caesar salads, I'm like, I don't want any more Caesar salads for a while. Was there a period where you might have been too active with him and you tapped out? You know, there's only so many times you can have Buffalo Wild Wings before you're like, no more B-dubs.
Yeah, that is true. But no, we had, so for our entire relationship so far, we have been, living, or being long distance, he's out of state. So we dated back in the day when we were younger, but it was more of I'm not even sure what to call that. We were younger, it's a young relationship. So I wouldn't say that maybe not with him specifically. Maybe I overdid it, like too young, and that just made me very unattractive to it. I'm not sure what would I call that.
So are you now kind of are you desiring to just maintain a just sexless but purely romantic relationship with your boyfriend moving forward?
I would love that, but I don't think that's gonna fly with him. He definitely couldn't not do that. But doesn't that sound? I don't know. It makes it sound horrible. But like
you keep saying. Can I ask you? You keep saying this sounds horrible. This sounds horrible. What do you think is so horrible about it? I mean, it's.
No.
I don't think this is the truth. This is the way that you feel. This is just is what it is. I don't think that you should be ascribing like a negative attribute to it that's making you beat yourself up. What are you observing about it that is so horrible?
Well, it just is like off-putting for me to even say it out loud. But like I feel like our sexual activity, it would be me doing it for him, because I'm not really desiring it. I could go without it, but then I feel like not that it's worse. I don't mind, but like the desire's not there, so I feel that it's different.
That's interesting.
Well, still, why do you think that is so hard? I guess it bothers me that it sounds like you're beating yourself up about the way that you feel when it's it's okay. People have feelings. They have desires or lack thereof, and it just kind of it is what it is. And I hate to hear that you're being so hard on yourself for feeling the way that you feel.
Yeah, that's true. I guess it is all a side effect of how I'm feeling.
And I mean, you also gotta take into consideration his love language. If he's very like kind of like that's his needs, that might be a problem. But sometimes, whether it's like words of affirmations or like whatever it might be, that might get that same kind of itch for him. It's like if you guys spend good quality time together, you might not even be thinking about it. Sure, if it comes up every once in a while, it'll turn up. But I think it's more so, do you guys enjoy being together? Because then usually long distance is also hard because you're not thinking about that person, but you might see him in the kitchen restocking Rice Krispies and be like, damn, give me that thing. So you might, I think if you guys live together, you might just understand each other and each other's bodies and your love language a little more. And, if it didn't work out, it's not because you didn't love each other. It's just because you felt one way, he felt the other. Not saying that it's not, but you can't take it personal either way.
Right.
You're not looking at him like, you're ugly, I don't want to bang you. You're just like, I'm just nobody. So the hard part at that is not taking it personal. Because I think anybody would take it personal. I mean, a guy got cut out of his will earlier on the show. Yeah. Took it personal. Mm-hmm. And he, who knows?
And he, I feel like, well, he didn't really need to take it personal. And I feel like, a lot of people are out here taking things personally when they just are the way that they are.
Yeah, I think where you get in trouble is where you hide your feelings. And if you didn't tell him that, then you'd be like, it might come out in an argument. But if you go about it in a mature way, like, hey, this is how I'm feeling, it's nothing personal, then he can come at it from a viewpoint and be like, oh, I had no idea you felt the way, I'm so sorry. How can how can I help you? But if it comes out in an argument, he's like, why don't you ever want to fucking 69 with me, babe? And then you're like, it's because I don't fucking want anyone. Right. Then it's coming out in a hostile environment.
Right. But preemptively throw it out there.
Yeah, you don't want to live with him, and then 3 months in, he's like, you catch him with a fleshlight. He's like, yeah, sorry. So you gotta kind of. It is weird because I'm not a very confrontational guy, and I would be nervous too. But I think it's better to have the conversation. Just put it on the table because that's at the end of the day, that's who you are, and you don't want to have to feel like you're living a different life just to make somebody else happy.
Right.
Yeah. So do you feel confident that you are going to want to have this conversation with him?
Yes, I think, I don't know whether to have it before he moved here or after he moved here. Obviously that's not going to change anything, but I don't know if this discussion is better had in person or over the phone.
I might do before the move, because if he gets with cold feet, or something, is that what it's called? Because if he then cancels the move, then he probably wasn't the guy in the first place.
Right.
Because if you're like, hey, this is how I feel. True. But then if it's 3 weeks and he's like, oh, I ran out of gas, I actually can't move, gas prices are high, and then you're like, ooh. Yeah, because the last thing you do is have him move in, then he throws a fit, and then, dudes aren't really good with reasoning. He's like, I fucking moved here. You can't even give me a little bit of cooter. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta maybe just be like, hey, just a heads up, nothing personal, but
just get it out. You're holding in a fart right now.
Yeah.
This is a big fat fart,
and you don't want to let it out. You let it out over the phone, because then he doesn't have to smell it.
Zach, oh, there you go, like that.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you're really just testing his maturity levels at this point. Because if he really wants to be with you, he'll be like, yeah, it's not a problem at all. As long as you can enjoy each other's company. Enjoying each other's company is so much better than having a crazy sex life. Because it's cool.
Oh, you're telling me. I know all about it.
6, 7, 8, seconds, minutes, whatever you're doing. But then you spend the rest of the day with them. It's like, if you can enjoy your time together, that will go so much farther than any bedroom chemistry. And that's coming from a guy.
Yeah, I agree.
And geckos are very,
Geckos not bad.
very sexually active.
Are they?
I actually know very little about geckos.
Damn.
I know that they can stick to any surface except for Teflon. That's the only fact that I have.
Teflon. Interesting.
Aubrey, is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we go?
I just want to say shout out to Manitowoc. I know Trev Geck is Manitowoc Minute. I grew up there. But,
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's it. Peace out, Internet.
Thank you, Aubrey.
Thanks.
How do you feel, like, now that you've kind of been sitting in the costume for an hour, do you feel like you're
I
getting
feel comfortable.
gecko-y?
Like I almost forgot that I was wearing this.
Yeah, that's what happens. I walk around outside forgetting that I'm wearing
It's
this.
funny if, like, you probably don't smoke cigarettes or anything, but it would be a funny visual to look outside and see a gecko chain smoking some like Marlboros.
What about me makes you think I don't smoke cigarettes?
Nah, you smoke for sure.
I don't smoke cigarettes. You're actually right.
You just seem too calm. And I feel like
How do you know I'm not calm because of the cigarettes?
I didn't think about that. Usually, from experiences I've met with people that smoke, right before they do a thing,
Yeah.
like if the episode started at 6, 5:57, you're like, I'm gonna go rip this real quick.
Sure.
Yeah.
You smoke cigarettes?
I don't.
Have you ever smoked cigarettes?
One time in 8th grade, my friend Jordan brought over a pack of cigarettes, and he was moving. So he's like, we gotta smoke an entire pack. And we went outside in the riverbed, and we smoked an entire pack, just me and him.
I mean, everyone do it again.
One sitting. Oh, I was so nauseous. I felt like I was on a roller coaster, but I was sitting down.
That's why they do that, right?
But it was so funny. Like I was excited to go do it. And we just like by my parents' old house, there was like this like riverbed. There was like this like creek and shit. And we just went in this alleyway and just chain smoked like 7 cigarettes. Barely even in, but like literally 8th grade going into our freshman year. Yeah, it would have been a really funny visual to look outside of your window though at night and see like 2 8th graders chain smoking. Like, the hell are they so stressed out about?
You smoked all the cigarettes that you like had sort of padded out throughout your life, but you
Yeah.
just did it in one sitting.
At one point, I had 3 cigarettes in my hand, all lit.
And you smoked them all at once.
Yeah.
You would sound like the coolest 8th grader.
Oh, dude, it was like ripping a Hemi. This shit was. I felt like it was fucking truck month. It was crazy.
Do you get high?
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I'd say like maybe a handful of times a month.
do you ever do you ever perform a little stoned or a little drunk, or you try to?
Not often. I like to just be very like invisible. Right. But there used to be a show in North Hollywood. It was an open mic, but they would like book comedians at the end of it to like close it out.
Yeah.
And it was at a dispensary. And I felt like if the audience was high, I wouldn't mind being too high.
Sure.
There was a level of connection
Yeah. Yeah.
where if you're high and the audience is sober and you say some fucking cooked ass shit, they're like, what? But when everyone's high and you're like, you know what I'm talking about? And they're like, yeah. You're like, it feels like you have a secret that everybody airdropped to each other.
Into each other, and you can only access the feeling
100%.
on the same level.
100%. Like if there was a security guard working the front door and he wasn't high, he wouldn't get it.
Mm.
But everyone was like high. It was kind of cool. It was like this intimate like weed coffee shop, and there'd be like 20 audience members, and like it was fun because you could literally just like you never want to try these jokes out in front of like a paying crowd at like a comedy club. And you're like, I'm just gonna. This is some shit I probably wouldn't even put on Twitter, but here we go. And the crowd would be like, oh, okay, yeah.
Right, because their brains have been opened.
Yeah. And you'd all like pass on like one joint, so it's like kind of the same strand, so everybody's kind of on the same trip. Yeah, those were fun, but then the drive home, you'd always be like, man, what the fuck am I floating right now?
You ever just forget that driving high is like extremely illegal?
Oh yeah. You ever look up on your dash, you're doing 45 in the middle lane?
You ever seen those billboards that say this is a sign not to do? You ever seen one of those while you're high?
I don't know if I have, but I've seen signs to drive on not high. And usually it's like seeing my dashboard when I'm going 30.
Yeah.
People are flying past you.
Well, at least I feel like if you drive high, you're probably going too slow. But it's people who drive drunk that go fast.
Oh, man, that is interesting. Drunk, you drive fast. High, you drive slow. What do you drive the appropriate amount on?
I feel like meth. Yeah. I think high would be okay, but only if everybody on the road was high.
Yeah. I think you can drive high in traffic. I think I think too much. Like when you drive now, like you don't think about what your feet are doing. But if I was like high, I'd be like, oh.